Hello and welcome to the webcast. I'm very happy you took the time to join us today and are interested in our CTI solution. Today we want to show you what CTI by Simova can do and how you or your customers can benefit from it in a very short period of time. But let's introduce ourselves first. My name is Max and I'm part of Simova for over 2 years now, and I'm today's moderator. And the live presentation will be shown by my colleague Kerem. He's a sales consultant at Simova for over 3 years now. So what are we going to see? We will see how CTI provides a compact display of customer information on incoming calls, the caller cards that open in Business Central to provide further information, and how CTI brings more transparency by recording the telephone information. Let's have a quick look at a process diagram on what we are about to see. We will receive an incoming call and get a quick overview on the caller information on the CTI tray application. We will see the CTI call-in card and we'll just directly jump on a sales quote from that. On the sales quote, we will have a look on how other Simova extensions can accelerate processes even further, and this will not be so detailed. After that, we have adjusted the sales quote. We will jump back to the call-in card, and we will have a look at the telephone entries and see how CTI tracks all incoming and outgoing calls. The last process we will see is how CTI handles outgoing calls. So if you have any questions during the webcast or the presentation, just write it in the chat or save it for the question and feedback session at the end of the webcast. I don't want to waste time now, and I think we should jump direct into the live demonstration. Therefore, I hand over the word to my colleague Kerem.
Thanks, Max, and also a warm welcome from my side. Let's go straight into Business Central and see what CTI is all about. Like Max introduced, CTI is the direct integration of your telephony system with Business Central. Therefore, you will have to install the CTI extension and an additional application that is called CTI tray application. Those two components let your telephony system connect with the Business Central. Therefore, a TAPI or TAPI driver and a protocol is being used that your telephony system, all the incoming calls, outgoing calls can be directly get through to Business Central. All right, so for the demo, we prepared a sales process, and we will be in a specific role as a salesperson. We'll receive a call. And this is also what we will see right now. So in the background, we have, let me see, just doing one more again. Yeah, right there. All right, so in the background, we have the Business Central opened, and on the right bottom side, we have the tray application. Let's see what the things are exactly. So in the tray application, I'll just close Business Central for a moment. We see that we receive the information who's calling directly at a glance. We can interact with those information. So let's assume we have different calls. We are in different processes, and we get a call without preparation. I receive first information about the caller. So I can greet Mr. Robert Towns by his name, and I don't directly know which company he is addressed to. If I click now on this on the right side, I can also open more information to this customer. So we want to have you have direct integration with the system and also get the information as fast as possible, also without preparation. So also here, if you have outstanding invoices and you want to interact with your customers in a different way, you can also see the invoices that are outstanding, the limits, totals. So you can decide how to interact with your customer. This also provides you a different type of service quality. So with CTI, I know many of you guys also receive many phone calls, and you want to proceed those as fast as possible and in the best way possible. So let's also jump straight into Business Central and see what opened in the background. I will close the tray application for a moment. The tray application, as we've seen, we can also control the call directly from the tray application, but also in the Business Central background. So what is CTI? CTI opened a caller card that we pronounce in the role of the salesperson. So here you can see at one moment that you will receive your information or your specific information in your Business Central for this specific customer. Also, without any preparation, you don't have to access to Business Central separately. You don't have to open many windows and do searching for different type of information. We also know if I receive a call, for an example, the caller also sometimes is speaking not very clearly. They speak very fast, and sometimes information gets lost. So in this way with CTI, you have everything at one hub, at one screen, and can access directly in Business Central through this card. As we've seen, we have general information to this customer, to this contact that Mr. Robert Towns just called me, and I can see on the right side, um, specific information to his Business Central processes. So for an example, as Max told, we want to see that how we can interact also with this type of situation if a customer calls us and wants his quote adjusted. On the right side, like I said, are the different information. All those informations, all those access points can be configured in this call-in cards. So those call-in cards have to be created. We deliver in the standard installation of the CTI specific call-in cards for the sales and for normal purposes, but those call-in cards can be created with every access point you can imagine in Business Central for standard processes, but also for industry solutions. If you have industry solutions from your partners or yourself provide them, you can also have access points to those areas. But also if you are in different roles, you can just create a call in, call out card to your purposes. Let's jump straight into the offer. So meanwhile, I'm calling, my customer tells me that he wants to adjust his quote. I'll just go straight into Business Central in the quotes and can adjust his sales quote to the amount of 3. So while we are calling, like I said, we are directly in Business Central. We don't have to open any windows. We are actually in a deeper point in Business Central, a deeper process, and can just send him this quote right away with the standard, but even better with the Simova ecosystem. Like you can also use now the different the different extension from Simova as well. So for an example, if I have adjusted the quote and I just want to send this quote while I'm speaking, I can also use the EDS. While I'm speaking, this document, the quote, can also be directly archived in the DMS or can also um, can create entries for my other colleagues. So if I want to tell them, ask them a question or tell them an information regarding this quote, I can do this here as well. As you see, we want to have a closed ecosystem where you can not only benefit from one extension, but from all extensions at the same time. So let's go straight back to the call-in card. And as we see, the call-in card is still opened and still ongoing. So if my customer has some other topics, I can now still be in the same caller card and can process his information further. But what I can also do with the information, I can also note them and comment on this call-in card. so my information also don't get lost, and I can still see what did I with this with this call. So for an example, we just adjusted the quote, so we updated the quote amount and can save this now. Like I said, we can also control the CTI through the the call with CTI through Business Central. I can hold it, I can just close it. But even if I close this call or this call card will not be automatically closed, because if you want to add additional notes or comments, you have this possibility right away. For now, this was the call in, but what about the history? So the comments, where do I can track them? Where can I have a type of history to these calls? For the history, we have two possible ways to see those to see all calls, incoming, outgoing, or missing calls. And the one way is through the Business Central standard. There we are also integrated in the interaction log entries. I will just go into my contact and see right away in the history, or also with the navigate to the was it maybe it's not in this Business Central version because they've updated. Beforehand it was an action, but now it is also integrated into the contact card directly. But this is a standard area of Business Central. We see all the activities that happen to this customer or to this contact actually, and see also the comment. So here, all my colleagues can also interact with the calls. If, for an example, not myself answered this call, for example, Max answered this call, he can also see if my customer says like something like he just called me like yesterday or the week before. Max can easily go into this history and see what type of calls happened to this contact. We can also go to the comments and see the comments right away. We can also add here more comments, or can also adjust our comment. Those are the possible ways to interact with those information. The second history related page is the CTI telephony entries. And here I have all my calls. So I can here see the calls that I have received or that I did. My colleagues can't access this page because we wanted to have two types of history where you can just see the activities, the history for those calls, and it's public to your customer, to your colleagues, but also a specific for you that you can also see what type of calls you did in the past. Also here you have more information to this information to these calls. You have call time durations, the dates, also the comments. If I, for an example, click on the 9 here, I can also switch between here those calls in a nicer look, like the caller card before, and can also see the comments and can call directly from this page. So if I have a question to this contact or to this customer, I can also make a call out from this page. As you see, this call out is not specific for a role yet. This is just the way we want to show you that those call cards can actually be created, adjusted to your own purposes. This is just a call card, with, a blank call card without any further information. But I can just easily go into the call control and make a call. Robert Towns is called. I will just answer this call now. As you see, the call is now being processed. You can also close this call directly through the tray application. I can also close this card without any problems. So you can also go back to your Kronos, to your row center and do your normal processes in Business Central. But what if we have also the way that how to interact with calls that can't be assigned or are not in your system yet? I'll just call with a different call number now, and let's see what CTI does with the unknown call. As we see, the tray application also tells us that this call is unknown to the system yet, but as you see, also unknown calls are directly opened in Business Central, and you can interact with also with those calls. And now also you have the phone number and the duration and everything, but and also the comments and notes. But what's more importantly for us is that you can also create a customer contact or vendor directly from this page, and or assign the phone number. For an example, the Mr. Robert Towns from the before call, or someone else just called, and we have one of his phone numbers in our system, but he's calling us with a different phone number. We can also assign this number now to to a different contact or to the same contact. I'll just show you how we will just also get asked if this contact a customer or a vendor. For me, it's a contact, and I can just select Robert Towns, but I also can say it's the Ian Debris from Alpine, and we see the phone number was successfully assigned. The call card also switched to the Ian Debris, and I can also here make those notes for this contact, and this is also be transferred to the history. Like that this was also the main part of CTI, the demo today. So what we've seen is how to interact with incoming calls and outgoing calls, also unknown calls, directly in the system without any preparation and in the fast way possible. So we can also dive in deeper processes of Business Central without leaving the call, and have a better service quality in this meantime while we are calling. Yeah, also the history is very important. Also, we have many people that are also working from home or from different locations. You can see all the history to those calls, and you can make them public to your colleagues. So all those information also don't get lost in your Business Central. Yes, that was also the demo. Thank you guys for joining us today, and I will give the word back to Max.
Yeah, thank you, Kerem, for the live presentation. We will now come to the question and feedback session. And let's see if there are open questions. If there are no open questions, I have prepared a small question. Let's wait a second. There seems to be no questions. Then I can tell you my question at this point. And the question is, are all TAPI-enabled telephone systems are connectable? And how do I know if my system is compatible with CTI by Simova?
Thanks, Max, also for this question. All TAPI telephony systems that can provide this TAPI protocol and provide the TAPI driver into your computer. Those telephony systems, it doesn't matter if it's physically or it's a voice over IP telephony system, all those systems can be integrated or implemented and connected to the CTI. What we have in our roadmap is the Teams integration. This is just a thing that we are working on, and will have it in our future. But the only possible way how to connect your physical or your voice over IP telephony systems are the TAPI driver or the TAPI protocol.
Yeah. And there's also a list on already connected TAPI telephone systems on our Simova zone. If you want to get to know if your system is already on that list, just write us up on sales@simova or give us a call, and we will be happy to answer that for you. So that was all from our webcast today. Thank you again for your time and your participation. And with that, I want to say thank you again and see you soon. Goodbye.
Thank you and goodbye.